Hello, Renee Flamond here, and Minnie. When we have a breakup with somebody, anybody, narcissist or not, and the person subsequently reaches back out to you, it is very natural to feel, ooh, they're still thinking about me. That is built into us, I think, right? That's built in. They're still thinking of me. I affected them. They miss me. They still care about me. They have more to say. They're not done here. Right? With the narcissist, and I want you new people to really listen to this, okay? With the narcissist, when they are reaching back out to you post-breakup, that is not what's happening. Not the same things that may be happening if it were a healthy breakup. And when I say healthy breakup, I mean people break up who are non-disordered, and they go on to realize they miss each other, they call each other, they get back together, they live happily after. Okay, fine. That's not what's happening when the narcissist is ringing you back. And they call it hoovering on purpose after the vacuum cleaner because they're trying to suck you back in. Right? And the way that they do that is with manipulation. Now, you may say, well, I broke up with him. He's not going to call me. Oh, yes, they will. Even more so because they have to say when it's over. Oh, yeah. You can't say when it's over. How dare you have the audacity to think that you could make the decision going forward for both of you. Let me just back up a second. How you handle it is a very personal choice in terms of when a narcissist is hoovering you. Every single person, all the research, every single person agrees, don't answer. Okay? I failed miserably at that for a year post-breakup at not answering. I failed miserably. I got it right sometimes, and I'd let weeks and weeks and weeks go by, a couple of months here, a couple of... But for the most part, I'd always fold. Because if your narcissist is persistent enough, and there's 30 voicemails and 18 texts and all of this, you start to hear them. You listen. They're coming on strong with the love bombing. They're coming on strong. They'll even use pity. I don't feel well. I thought for sure you'd be there for me. I definitely can't. Stop it, Mommy. She hears one noise. I don't feel well. I thought for sure you'd be there for me. I can't believe you're not there for me. They'll say anything and everything to pull at your heartstrings to make you call them back. She does bark. Isn't that funny? I know. People can't believe it. She hardly makes any noise, but she heard something outside. They will say anything that they have to get you to call them. That is their task. I want to make sure that we understand that. That is their task. Their task isn't, ooh, I have to get her back. I miss her. No. Their task when hoovering is to get you to break, is to get you to respond. You could respond and they could be off and not even pick up the phone and not call you back or talk to you for 2 days and then never talk to you again after telling you with 30 voicemails and 18 texts, I want to be with you, I love you, I miss you, what are you doing to us? Come on, answer the phone. I thought for sure you wouldn't turn your back. They'll say anything. Anything. They want to control you. They want to control when things ended. They want to control whether or not you're talking to them. They want to control how you're feeling about them. And let me tell you what's happening if they're hoovering you that hard, especially if you notice, there was a space for a few weeks after our breakup. Now all of a sudden is he starting to call me. They're bored elsewhere, or they're failing elsewhere. Yeah. They're going to go through the same problems with every other person they ever meet. It's just a matter of time. So they're failing elsewhere, or they're bored elsewhere, or they're alone, and they start to call you. And I'm not trying to say you're not special. You are special. But the narcissist thinking you're special or not has no bearing on whether or not you're special. And they're trying to make you think that you're special right now. But what did they do to you to make you break up? Did that make you feel special? Where was all my specialness then? Oh, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. I am here to tell you they will do it again. And it will be worse, and it will be heavier. Because now they're mad at you for making them jump through hoops to get you back. They're not digging this process, but they're going to keep doing it because they want to show you, they want to show themselves that they can get you again. And the minute they do, they haven't changed. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they say. And your choice to answer or not, again, it's very personal. All the research tells you not to. I admit I failed miserably, and I will tell you that there are many times that I regret having gotten back to the narcissist. Even if it were not to get back together, it would be like in the spirit of, my God, what's going on? All these messages. I don't care. I shouldn't have given him anything. I shouldn't have given him one iota of my time, attention, energy, effort, or anything. Because hearing them may or may not trigger you, but I think it's inevitable that it does trigger something. You hear their voice. You get on the phone with them. They start saying things to you that you really want to hear, that you really wanted them to say. They're finally saying all the things that you wanted them to say. And the feeling of it is such a dichotomy because, especially if they go ahead with the thick love bombing and the string of calls and texts and messages, you begin to believe and listen again, even though you know what they did to you. And therein lies the dichotomy. How can both be true? Oh, I learned. I'm so sad. That'll never happen again. If you know that your person is a narcissist, and we're all amateurs here, well, maybe some of you are therapists, I'm not. But I think it's easy at this point to diagnose a narcissist if you see their pattern of behavior is such that it fits into this like a puzzle piece. If you know that they're a narcissist, they're not done with you, meaning hurting you. So if they're hoovering you, what's going on is they're trying to control the narrative. They have to control the end, what was said, how it goes down, everything. And let me just tell you something. They're not only hoovering you. I learned that too very much the hard way, and it took me a long time. They're not just hoovering you. They're not pining away for us in a room somewhere, dialing our phone, crying into the phone. No. They're hoovering many different people. They're probably having conversations with many different people right then. If they're hoovering you, they're hoovering other people. Because if they're hoovering you, then that means there was a breakup, which means there was probably new supply already. And maybe if they're hoovering you, now they're having a problem with that new supply. So guess what? They're going to hoover the new supply also. And you, and anybody else on their bench, right? We talked about bench warmers. That's what we all are. While also trying to figure out new supply. It's a revolving door for these people. They're giving like shavings of themselves to many different people, little carvings, never the whole person. So you think they're calling you to get back together and they've had this epiphany and they love you, and of course they do. How could they not? We had this, and this, and I showed them this, and this, all of which are probably true. You probably did show them a great life. You probably were wonderful to them. You look perfect. Pearls on Sunday, gloves to church, whatever it is. That's perfect in your mind. I'm sure you did do that. It doesn't bloody matter to the narcissist. It doesn't bloody matter to the narcissist. To not answer the Hoover at all is the end all. That, when it happens, it's very difficult. You're extremely tempted to answer. You want to know what they have to say, if they actually got you on the phone, aside from the messages you're receiving. You want to know what kind of follow-through they may show you this time. Right? It's natural. We're curious. Did he see the light? Did being without me make him miss me to the point that he sees the light? Did going out with somebody else in the world and it went badly make him see the light? We think of all of these things. But I'm here to try to save you the time and tell you they never see the light. There's no light to be seen. Nothing. They live in darkness. They are never fully realized adult human beings that have the development intact to move forward in a healthy way with another person. They just don't have it. The emotional availability is not there. And that's hard to believe. I know it is. And you think, my God, you didn't hear what he said to me last night? There were 50 messages. I talked once before about a girlfriend I know who turned her back and never turned back again. 6 years with a person. She would leave her phone for a minute, like leave it over there. She'd look back, 87 calls. She just never not once did she answer. Not once did she answer or respond to a text. Not once. And I saw it bring her peace. I saw me make errors for a long time. I'll just answer him. I'll just have a conversation. How bad can that be? Before you know it, they're love bombing you, insulting the new supply, saying they want to come home. They start to tug at your heartstrings. Maybe it's late. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you've had a drink or two. Maybe you're feeling vulnerable over a movie you watched. Whatever. They catch you at a moment. You let them, all right, yeah, we can have coffee. Before you know it, you're on your way to the next devaluing cycle. They want to prove to themselves that they can get you back if they want. And why, you say? Why? If they don't want me and they know why? Just because. They want to know that they can. It gives them a rush. They landed you again. They made you believe them again. They got you under their power again. They persuaded you again. All of these things give their ego a pretty big boost. If you can talk somebody into believing you again once they've wronged you, can you imagine the boost? Can you imagine the boost? I want you to list for yourself, even just take the last 5 things they did to wrong you and put them in front of your face. And when the phone rings or the text comes through or the email comes through or the flowers come at the door or whatever it is that they do, I want you to remember these things. Now they're going to promise and say, that won't happen again, or I've learned my lesson. Now, if you feel the need to answer them and go through the cycle again to relearn, there's nothing that anyone can do to stop you. I did it. And let me tell you something, every single time got worse. It has to get worse. We're deeper into it now. He said more love bombing. So now the devaluation is going to be even more. Because now we're in it again. It's not the same as the first time. Now we're in it again. He came back. He clawed back. Now he's there. I'm there, right? Even if you don't get back together, you're talking to them, and he's thinking, what am I going to do now? I really don't want this. I don't know what goes through their head, but I'm imagining something like, okay, now I got her to answer the phone. Now she's on the phone. What do I actually want from her? If you ask them, they would not know what to say. And they'll eventually feel they need to go their own way again. They would love to keep you engaged with them and still be able to go and do their things. So don't fall for that either. No, 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 I'm just going to be with you. I'm just going to be with you. I promise, I promise, I promise. You can have my phone. They'll promise anything. Don't fall for that either. If they're hoovering you incessantly, that's because they are desperate for attention, for making you be under their control again, desperate to hear a friendly voice, and you are someone that they knew once. They're not getting attention from anywhere, and they're going to go to the person that's going to answer the phone. And I really am so sorry to bring that to your attention, but essentially when you answer a Hoover, you're the person that answered the phone. He put out several calls, probably within the same 5 minutes. Could have even been a copy and paste text message. You got to watch that. Text messages, voice messages, little video. I swear mine sent me little videos that he meant to send to somebody else. You can tell if something's meant for you or if something is made blanketly for several people, right? And I would say, my name's not even in that video, or you referred to this like I'm a stranger, but I know this, so I know that video wasn't for me. Like mine was too, like you can tell that they're throwing out things to many people at one time. So if you're getting hoovered, please absolutely don't jump on answering it back right away and thinking that's the answer. Please be careful.